Welcome. We're about to dive into what is, no joke, a creative revolution. We're talking about a massive shift in how videos are actually made. You can just forget about all the complicated, expensive productions of the past. Today, it's all about moving from pixels to prompts. And your greatest asset? It's just your ability to describe an idea.
And to really get a grip on this change, just think about how it used to be. For decades, right, making a video meant you needed a camera, a crew, a huge budget, and tons of time. It was a world totally defined by its limits. But now? Well, the core requirements have been stripped way down to the absolute basics. A good idea, and the words to describe it. This changes literally everything.
You know, this really is a monumental shift in how you should think about this. Generative AI doesn't just go out and find footage for you to chop up and edit. No, it creates it from scratch, based entirely on what you tell it to do. So you're not just piecing things together anymore. You are the architect, designing entire worlds of sight and sound right from the ground up.
Okay, but how does all this magic actually work? It's not like there's one single magic app that does the whole shebang. Professional AI video, it's really a workflow, a process. And the best way to think about it is like a digital assembly line.
So this assembly line, it breaks down into 4 key stages, and each one uses its own special kind of tool. First, you start with the brain. That's a large language model to get your script down. Then you move on to the painter, an image generator to create your scenes, your characters, everything. After that, the director takes those still images and breathes life into them, turns them into motion. And finally, the voice comes in to give your creation its soul with sound and dialogue.
And look, these aren't just abstract ideas, they are real tools you can go and use right now. For the brain part, you've got things like ChatGPT or Claude to help you hash out your ideas. For the painter, something like Leonardo.ai is just fantastic for getting that artistic control. For the director, tools like Runway or Luma are really leading the pack right now with their amazing motion quality. And for the voice, ElevenLabs can generate audio that is scarily human-like. This is your brand new toolbox.
All right, so this brings us to a huge question, and honestly, a really common myth. When people see this new toolbox, their first thought is usually, wow, this has got to be incredibly expensive to get anything that looks professional.
So let's just ask it straight up. Do you really need to be shelling out hundreds of dollars a month on subscriptions to make something great? Is money the biggest barrier to getting into this new creative world? And the answer is a simple, very clear no. That is a myth. Let's be really direct about that. This idea that you have to pay a ton of money for pro-level quality is just a leftover from the old way of doing things, and you know what? It's just not true anymore. So here's the secret. It isn't about paying more, it's about being strategic. Instead of paying for one super expensive tool, you learn to master the free tier across lots of different platforms. Most of these services will give you daily or monthly credits to play with. So if you combine the free stuff from different tools, and maybe tap into some of those powerful open source models, you can build that entire professional assembly line without all the overhead.
This right here, this is the new reality. Your power as a creator isn't measured by how much you spend, not anymore. It's measured by how well you can explain your vision to the AI. Your skill in writing a clear, descriptive prompt is worth so much more than any subscription. So if the prompt is king, how do you write a good one? Well, it's kind of like learning a new language, the language of the AI. So let's get into your first practical framework for describing a scene. It's time to start speaking like a director. We're going to use what I call the S.C.E.L framework. First up, S is for subject. This is your first and most important question. What is the absolute focus of your shot? What is in the frame? Is it a person, a building, a car? You got to be specific. In this case, our example is a cyberpunk street. Bam, we know exactly what we're looking at. Next up, C is for camera. Okay, so where is the camera? Where is it positioned? Because this choice dramatically changes the whole feel of the shot. A high angle can make your subject feel small and weak, but a low angle, like our example, low angle looking up, well, that makes the cyberpunk street feel massive, towering, and superimposing. And E is for environment. This is where you really set the mood. What's the vibe? Don't just say something simple like, it's raining. Describe it. Neon lights reflecting in puddles, 4 a.m. See? All of a sudden you can feel that cold, damp, lonely atmosphere of the city. It adds so much more depth. And finally, L is for lighting. Let me tell you, lighting is the key to emotion. Is the scene bright and happy or dark and mysterious? Describing it as moody blue and pink cinematic lighting instantly gives the AI a really specific visual style to aim for, and that shapes the entire emotional tone of the video.
So there you have it. You've got the workflow, you know that you don't need expensive tools, and now you have a framework to actually start speaking the language of these AIs. This completely changes what's possible for you as a creator. And this is the single most important thing to take away from all this. For the first time, really, in history, the barrier to creating something visually stunning isn't the money in your bank account. It's the richness of your imagination and your ability to put that into words. Your vocabulary is your new budget. So we've given you the foundational ideas and your very first framework, S.C.E.L. You now have the basic language to start building whole new worlds. The only question left is, what are you going to create first?